Hello, everybody. We have a guest here from Scotland University, University of Aberdeen, and she's going to share with us some information about her university. Hello, and welcome to UChum.
Thanks very much. Lovely to be here.
What's the name of your university?
So I'm representing the University of Aberdeen. Yeah.
And where is it located?
It's in the city of Aberdeen, which is up in the northeast coast of Scotland. So we're looking at, it's about 500 to 600 miles north of London. It takes about an hour to fly there by plane, and about 2 hours north of the bigger cities in Scotland, Edinburgh and Glasgow.
Oh, very nice, very nice. What makes your university unique?
Great. So we have several things that we think make us unique. One thing that we think makes us really stand out is that we introduced curriculum reform into our programs a couple of years back. So we were looking to Yale, to Harvard, to the Melbourne system, also to Hong Kong. And it means that we've introduced enhanced study options that the students can build into their core programs in the first and second years of study. So by those I mean things like modern languages, including Chinese language. They can also take things like digital media, sustainability, citizenship. So we feel that these options, along with the options that we offer in allowing them to practice personal tutoring and also to do industrial placements while they're undergrads, that gives them a bit of an edge over some of the other graduates who are coming out at the end of their period of studies.
Oh, very nice. Does this offer dual degrees?
Aberdeen does, yeah. So the four-year system, what it allows for is for students to take quite a broad range of subjects in their first and second years. So they can take up to 4 options in those first 2 years, and they can switch those options so they can take a variety of things over the course of the 2 years. And it's only at the end of that second year they then have to decide which path really they want to go down for their degree program, and then they have the option to take what we would call a single honours program. So they just choose one subject to study for the next 2 years, or they can do a dual program. So we call that a joint honours degree, where they study 2 subjects for the rest of their degree program, and they also have the options to do major minors. So there's a lot of flexibility built into the system. Kind of like to think of it as a kind of halfway house between the American system and the English system.
Oh, very nice. So the dual degree, is that 2 degrees or is that 1 degree?
They get 1 degree, but it has a dual name. So they might, for example, graduate with an honours degree in sociology and anthropology, along those lines. So they would do modules in both of those areas, but they would do a dissertation at the end in only one of those areas, so it would weight more heavily into one area or the other.
And the major minor would be more like more emphasis in one subject over the other?
Again, yes, that's right. Yeah, they would have much more emphasis and more modules in one area, and the dissertation also in that area as opposed to the other. Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So do you require, what are your major programs of study at your university?
Okay. So Aberdeen itself, it's one of the ancient universities in the UK. We're the 3rd oldest in Scotland and the 5th oldest in the whole of the UK. So very old, which means that some of the things we've been teaching for nearly 600 years now. So that would include medicine. We had the first seat of medicine in the English-speaking world. People used to flock from all over Europe to come and study medicine at Aberdeen. And that's always been at the heart of what we do, medical teaching, medical research. And that's now evolved into life sciences, health sciences, environmental sciences. So we're extremely good at those subject areas. Another thing we're extremely good at is law. So we've been ranked as the best law school in Scotland. So again, it's very popular for our students to come and study law. We offer engineering, again, very strong provision of engineering, all branches of engineering. Fantastic industry links. Aberdeen is the energy capital of Europe, so all the major energy companies have a base in Aberdeen, and their staff come and teach on the engineering programs. They provide facilities for us. So again, really outstanding provision there. And beyond that, what we offer in total over 550 undergraduate programs.
550, wow.
Yeah, there is really something for everyone.
Sounds like a great place to be.
It is a great place to be.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell us about do you require TOEFL or IELTS for entry?
For international students, from most countries, we require them to sit the IELTS or TOEFL. We'd look for them to have an IELTS of 6 overall, with no less than 5.5 in listening and in speaking, and maybe 6 in reading and writing. And we have an equivalent TOEFL score as well. So we do require that. Sometimes that can be waived depending on where the student has come from. So sometimes that is an option for students coming from Hong Kong.
So Hong Kong students have the option to take the TOEFL or the IELTS?
They do, that's right. We will accept TOEFL or IELTS, or also the Pearson's PTE test as well.
Okay, very nice. What is your average IB score for entry?
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, so I mean, we would set our minimum for most programs at 32, and we'd be looking for 5 at higher level. So most of our applicants will have at least 32, and obviously in relevant subject areas. We would be looking for slightly higher entry requirements for those students coming to study biomedical sciences, medicine, and also for law. For law, we'd hope that we'd have around about 34 in total, and we would like them to have English as one of their higher level subjects. For medicine, we set the minimum entry requirement at 36 in total. That has to include chemistry, either maths or physics. But probably the reality is that the successful applicants will exceed those scores slightly. You know, so, but that is the requirement. We will consider every application that comes in that has met those requirements. And biomed is set at the same standard as medicine.
Okay. My question now about the IB score is, some students take higher level math and standard level math. Does your school accept math studies?
We would. I mean, if they were majoring in maths, if they're coming to study maths, we would prefer that they have that obviously at a higher level. We would accept math studies for other subject areas.
Math studies for medicine as well?
It would have to be at a higher level.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'd have to achieve, I think, 6 across the board.
Okay.
For those things. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. And just to follow up on your IB score, does your school give credit for higher level IB courses?
Okay, that's a good question. Yeah, so because we're a 4-year degree structure, we can reward students who have done very well at their IB. So those who have exceeded our expectations can be offered the chance for accelerated entry, as we call it, into the second year of the programme. So there is a kind of reward there for students who have done exceptionally well. The sort of threshold for entry into the second year will depend upon the programme and upon the selector. But yeah, definitely there is a sense in which they can then gain credits from your hires.
Okay, very good. And just a few more questions. What's your average class size?
Right, so for our first year groups, they would be in total between maybe 150 and 200 students. And those students would all sit in lectures at least 3 times a week together for their core subjects. But they'd also be broken into smaller groups, smaller tutorial groups of about 20 to 25 students. So, you know, each lecturer is responsible for a group of about 20 to 25 students. So that's the kind of ratio at that low level between students and staff.
Okay, is it easy for students to access teachers if they need to?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I was a student myself at Aberdeen. I had a really fantastic experience as a student there, and I would say that a very big part of that was the fact that the staff, you know, they're not only really great at what they do academically, they're not only publishing in their field, leading research, they're incredibly nice people, approachable people. It's a really caring environment on the campus. So the students themselves have a real strong sense of collegiality. They help themselves out, and they have lots of societies and clubs that they form. But also the staff are there, they're fantastic. It's very much an open door policy, and they are there to guide you through your studies as well. So it's very much a very holistic approach to looking after our students.
Sounds like a great place to be.
It is. It's a really lovely place. It's a very beautiful old campus. People have said it looks like Hogwarts from Harry Potter. It's got that really old world charm, set against very modern facilities for sports and for the library. And all in all, it's a really nice atmosphere. It's a lovely place to come and study.
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for visiting our school.
Thank you very much. Bye.
This is Mr. Clack signing out from the UGO. I hope you learned something today.
Cool.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.